You're looking at other municipalities and they may have some, if the township does so much, maybe there's some agency or there's some program out there that would match some of that, could come up, give them a better benefit. So I wouldn't just look at it at the 50% level, what's out there, and let's assume. I don't know what that does for you, and I don't know what it does in terms of.
I don't know what, I mean, obviously this is new to me tonight, so I don't know what I'm gonna find when we look at other jurisdictions, but we'll do some digging. Okay.
We don't write ordinances, we still.
Any other thoughts from council? Okay, all right, thank you. All right, let's go to number, the second item on the agenda. Is renewal of discussion on the future organizational structure of the Julia A. Cornell Museum. And if you take a look in your packet, we have some minutes from that meeting, and then we have a board that kind of helps explain what we're trying to do. The Cornell Museum did have a great opening during the holiday tour, house tour, and they've been open by appointment only. So we're trying to get ourselves back together and get Cornell open, but we want to take our time and we want advisory from the town. Furnace Town has come on board to help us as an advisory, and also the board of Cornell Museum. And if you take a look at just that kind of rough draft of what we're trying to do, we've been meeting maybe once a month, and Furnace Town, brings the knowledge of how to fund and organize a nonprofit. And the town's role is staffing and money. And the board's role is fundraising, contacting grants, like a community foundation, going to them for grants. We also talked about board members, and we would like one from the town, someone on the town to be on their board, and then town representative, a rotating a member. And we're taking a break first from appointing new members, but we are brainstorming and coming up with all of these ideas. So when we talk to the Cornell Museum board, they were talking about doing fundraisers. They get donations, they have memberships, and they have special events, and they need to try to fundraise and cover all of those things. And then the town covers the money for staffing. So it would be the director, it would be any part-time people that we've had in the past who have come in like on weekends and opened up. So we're on our way to trying to get the Cornell Museum up and running. And we're very excited about the help from Furnace Town. And I didn't know whether Councilperson Walsh, who came to the meeting, I didn't know whether you wanted to add anything to that at all.
I don't think that's it.
Have I gone through it all
I
pretty
think I
well?
went through it all pretty well.
Okay.
When I was there listening, yeah.
Okay. So this is just an update, and I'll continue to let the council know what we're doing. And if council has any other things that, items that they would like us to pursue with this kind of triumvirate, this three bodies coming together to try to help Cornell Museum get back on board. So if you have any ideas, make sure I know about them.
Well, Madam President.
Yes.
When this museum debacle took place, And when it was decided what needed to be done and what had to be done, and the legal piece and all that good stuff. I said to you and this council, I said, as this matter goes forward, I want to be involved in it. Please let me know. This council, your comments, what we are doing, what the administration was doing. I understand the role of the administration, and I'm not attempting to be cantankerous. What I want to do, taking this example, if I'm out, I sent Rick an email today, and this is what is behind my question, Rick, is that I sat here and I've been a good student for 6 months. And I realized it was going to be a learning curve to try to catch up and get up to snuff. And Madam Chair, what I see that we are not utilizing full talent or being inclusive in terms of the administration, other than selective almost patronage. And it's offensive to me. The council represents a majority of the people, of all the people in Snow Hill. But on these committees, you said, and I listened to it, but I read the minutes. I went to the minutes of the report of the committee. And it did not, you said that Councilman Walsh came to the meeting. Councilman Walsh has been at the meetings. If you look at the minutes going back, and I'm seeing here in these minutes, the most recent ones of February 19th, her name mentioned 4 times in terms of what has been done. This is not a diatribe against Councilman Walsh. Understand this here. Please hear what I'm saying. I'm asking you this, please. When it comes time to report out and what's taking place, I don't hear, the only colleague that I hear is Councilman Walsh. I never hear what the other council persons are doing. And really, they're doing a great job of doing nothing. When it comes to, for me, I speak for myself. I shouldn't say that. I can only speak for myself. I want to be included in the actions of what's taking place. I don't want after the fact. And I want the opportunity that's offered, I want the opportunity for inclusiveness to be offered, and I'm speaking for myself, to me as well as to any other person on this council. I don't want this council to be skewed that it's one person in the mayor council. That's what's being said. We got to get beyond that for me. And what we really need is to turn these mics off, and that's what we're moving for. We are moving for it, I can say that. To turn these mics off and have that kind of discussion that moves it out the way so everybody can take a pride in what's being done and not feeling left out.
I'm sorry that you feel that way, but anytime that you would like to join us, we're certainly open to any meeting that you want to attend. I certainly would love to have you there. All you need to do, if you can approach me.
Can we just talk honestly to one another, you and I, openly on this, what you just said? What? That's the challenge, Mayor, that Snow Hill has never gotten. Governor, it's not just here, it's been going on. He said, oh, you all come. Oh, you're welcome to come to the meetings. How do you come someplace when you don't feel well? Like I said, when this started, if you remember, and Rick, I think you may chime in, I said very, very clearly, this is, looking back, this is one of the first things that I said when this came up. I want to be involved, let me know. Okay, yeah, we will. And all I get is reports after the fact. Thank you, man.
Okay, noted, thank you.
I mean, it sounds like, I'm not I get the gist of what you're saying, and I don't think I'd like the opportunity to respond. These meetings are published, and I call town hall and say, I'm off that morning, can I come to the meeting? So I follow the publishing of the mayor's hours and the things that are published on the website and the items that are published on the Facebook. And when I'm free, I ask if I can attend. And since I was the only person there, I asked for a couple of questions, and you can see my questions were about expenses because I've been tasked with being the treasurer of the town. You could read the same things that I'm reading and call town hall and ask to participate or to come to the meeting. And of course, if both of us come, we have to be quiet. So you have published things in the newspaper that are accusatory without investigating or asking questions. And it has gotten to a pitch that is unacceptable. You can, if we accused you of doing things and published them in the newspaper, it would be outrageous, but I would never do that. You're saying today that there's favoritism. You come to the meeting. I came to the charter committee meeting. Thank you for welcoming me. If you had come to this meeting or any other meeting that anybody has had, you would be welcome. The mayor has issued invitations. The staff does not call me and say, hey, we're having a meeting, can you come? I walk into town hall, I sign the checks, I say hi to people, I find out and make the meetings with when I need to. So the accusations need to be addressed. You have to decide what accusations you're making and address them. And then we can talk about them legally, whether you have to stop doing this. You can't make assumptions. You have to ask questions and you have to listen to the answers. Be willing to receive the answers.
Those, are we finished?
I would like to, if you want to respond? I'd like to ask
Yes.
Councilperson Fletcher also.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, okay. What, if you have any questions or you need to know anything else or want to add anything at this time?
For this?
Yes, for the
About
Purnell Museum?
No, but I have spoken to you. I've spoken to you earlier after Christmas about, my opportunity of being at some meetings that I do miss. And you talked to, asked if, I said afternoons at work, if you could switch some of your meetings and let me know, then I would be willing. But most of the
Good.
time, I'm a full-time worker.
Yes, you are.
And I do feel bad, but, I do try during the summertime when there's something open, an opportunity to get a meeting to attend, but yeah.
Okay, we would love to have you and, anytime you can attend, we would love to, we would welcome you to come.
Did you attend one of the engineering meetings with David Spone and Friedel?
I want to go back to.
Did you
previous
attend one
question.
of the meetings?
Okay.
Yes, I do.
I didn't, I wasn't there. Should I say that I was excluded or left out?
I don't know, you can say whatever you want. I
Well,
don't.
that's what you're doing. Just saying whatever you
I
want.
think that what the council person has said, and I'm not gonna try to present arguments, we established a forum to do that back and forth, but, you know, you can't judge other people by how they're, how you perform. You know, it's just like feelings, you know, there's 5 different senses. We have a predominant one that we work with. I think that, getting beyond where we are now is to leave this on the table. And the time is coming to provide, hopefully, the full discussion. But Mayor, I just want to be able to start opening up, somebody to me coming here, sitting here, feeling remorse for not speaking, or me feeling remorse for not speaking, or trying to create an environment where there's gonna be some give and take and some unanimity. I think we can get there. I think that, you know, I think, my hope is to get there. I think that we can. I
we
think
can.
great talent, what would happen to all the talent time we spend going,
That's
going
true.
north, and then decide we want to go south together? How about that?
That's
Okay.
true.
So that's what I'm working for, and I'm opening up to that and have opened up to that, so.
Okay, well,
Thank
thank you. Thank you all for your input. Okay, number 3, consideration of fees related to planning, zoning, and building in the context of the contract with First State Inspections for related services. Okay, who would like to start? Mr. Foote?
Again, we have been working on the contract for, First State. And they have given us in their contract a list of prices that they are requiring for us to do the building inspections for the town of Snowdell. They do not quite honestly connect to what we are currently have in our fee schedule. So the idea was to provide a little more freedom for the council so that you don't have to rewrite an ordinance every time you change a fee. So that if we have to incrementally increase fees, we don't have to necessarily take the time or effort to rewrite an entire ordinance. So the idea was to take it, to make those fees that we're supposed to be charging match what we actually have the authority to charge. Is to take the fees out of the ordinance for planning, building and zoning, and actually put in a piece of legislation that states, but that the council, the mayor and council by resolution can renew the fees. So it gives you a lot more freedom, so you don't have as much work to do. And then allow us to keep up in case, because quite honestly, First State said that they're probably going to be raising their fees to every other municipality this year. But because we haven't got everything figured out, they said they would stay with the fees that they are charging us now. But probably the next year they would need it. So we don't get into a situation where we have to raise our fees every single, or redo a complete ordinance every single year. We would just be allowing you guys, when you are ready to do that, to make a resolution to approve fees. So you would write up the resolution, and then as the normal process for that would be for you to do it. And I think I'm getting the overview of it, correct?
Yeah, so I'll tag on what Aaron said is currently your planning and zoning fees are in the town code. So if you ever want to amend them, you have to do an ordinance. So part 1 would be to delete all those fees out of the county town code. So the ordinance is a bunch of strike through, and then adding the ability that you can adopt the planning and zoning fees by resolution. Then what Aaron did is took those contracts with First State, made this chart that shows those are all the fees in your contract with First State. So these are all those fees, and the resolution essentially will be to adopt this fee schedule. And as Aaron said, as things change, you might need to tweak a fee here or there. You can do it by resolution, which is a one-shot deal, instead of having to do the ordinance process. A lot of jurisdictions do that. It is a well-established process for fees to do those by resolution. Your code just has a lot of your fees in the actual code body. So this is a way for you guys to maybe easily change and move with the times when it comes to fees. You might look at the fees, when you do your budget once a year. So then you could do a resolution to go along with that at budget time if you have to update anything. So that's just tagging on to what Aaron said.
Yes,
Questions?
Yes, ma'am. Aaron, my question is, and I think the attorney just answered it. Did I understand you say that the fees that he has here now, they were the fees that were being charged, is that correct?
Correct, by First State.
Right, okay, so you took, I guess my question is, when I'm really reading through this, so where did the fees come from and where does that, and I looked at it, due diligence, say, where are the parallels for these fees? Where, we're not just pulling stuff out, where can we say, hey, this is These are parallels, to other
In the
municipalities or what?
In the contract that we have from First State, these fees are noted in that contract.
Every one of them.
Every one of them except one. We did add an administrative fee at the end. And there was a breakdown of what our costs were. It cost us, between myself and Melissa at the front desk, approximately $124 and I think some cents to process every building permit. So we added a administration fee of $125 to pay for our time and to make sure that we're not losing money in those regards. Now, there will be cases. What I did when I put down what we do for the process and how much time it takes us, you might get a 600 unit development that might be outside that range. So we actually might spend a lot more time with that one than we do with other ones, but on average, this is what it takes us to do it. So that's what we're using for that fee. So everything is based either on what we are being charged. So that way, the other thing is that we know that those are completely pass through, which means when we collect those fees, it automatically goes to them. The administration fee being separate allows us to know that that's just our fee. So that stays with us.
So, thank you.
Okay, other questions?
So this, I tried to compare and these two. This we got earlier, so maybe I'm probably speaking to the mayor and Diana before Councilman Dean was elected, but I think that was when we first hired First State. Is that when it was that these fees? Cause I was looking to try to compare to understand.
Yes, First State came in to fill in the gap when Kevin retired, second time, and we had no service at all. And so they came in and basically ran the office for us until Aaron was able to come on board. In the meantime, we restructured how we process building permit applications and those sort of things. So even now with Aaron on board, the process will start with him. Once someone fills out a building permit application, they will then be forwarded to First State, who will oversee the actual construction and all the inspections up until the time the property is ready for a certificate of occupancy. Once they've satisfied all of the requirements for construction to get that final permit, then First State will turn it back into Aaron. But everything they do will carry a price tag. And so we had to match our fee structure to the fees that we would be charged. And that's what this will do, in addition to opening the door for a more smooth transition to fee changes in the future.
I'm trying to recall, did we get a exact list like this? I think we did.
We did.
We did.
I remember that.
Okay.
Remember,
I remember the part about, what we're gonna charge for each inspection, that list, but I was just.
But we also talked to them about the rental housing inspection.
Right.
That's a second,
Yes.
service that we're paying for. through First
Okay.
State.
That was just in November or October that we had that went through. And that was approved and it was $95. And then there was some minor charges for like multi-unit properties. I do want to bring up one thing though. Even though they're going to be handling all of the construction concerns, the town will remain, myself in the town will remain the BCO, which is the building code official overall. And what that allows us, if there is a complaint or if there is an issue where they don't feel that the code has been addressed correctly, the town will be the one that will be responsible to review it and make the final determination or go to a appeals board. So that gives us the control to, determine whether or not we're going to allow anything different than what is specifically written into the code. Code does allow you to have substitutions for certain things that they meet certain criteria, and that will stay within the town's ability to review.
If I may.
Yes.
Yeah, just one final for me, if I may. In dealing with 2024-3 or 2017, whatever you're dealing with, when you came up with that cost, you pulled the estimate cost at the meeting about $500 some $14, whatever it was.
I said that for 1 year, my time on one property, my time, from what I get paid, I was using what I get paid, would be about $500, maybe a little bit more, but I was also doing that in my head and I'm not that great of a mathematician. But, I'm actually using the prices. Sat down with Lou and went over what it actually is the cost to the municipality, to the town of Snow Hill for me, including my, health and health care, the car that I use, everything that goes into the cell phone, everything that's built into my cost, which I believe comes up to about $52 some cents. And then we also use the $30 threshold for Melissa in the time that Melissa spends with it, because she is the person who actually receives and distributes to me the permit. So there's some things that she has to do, such as receiving the payments at specific times, because I don't do anything with payments. She handles all that. So for her, it's wrong, but, so we used an amount of $30, and I believe in the packet, there should be a breakdown. Because I try to, when we're talking about these, I try to give a breakdown of the process and how much time is estimated that each one takes. Are they exact? Probably not, but if they're not exact, they're to the lower side, then they are to the higher.
Any other questions from council? Are we ready to move this to Maureen as a resolution? Is there a consensus on that? Anybody?
And the ordinance that goes along with it.
And the ordinance that goes with it. Okay. Are you good with that?
What would you say?
Are we good with having having a consensus of having a resolution written based on these building inspection prices and an ordinance to accompany it?
Are we ready?
Yeah, you can start on the 11th, February 11th, your next.
So the ordinance is gonna take the be the.
Yeah, it'll take all the fees that exist in there now and just a lot of strike throughs. And then at the second reading that night, you could pass the resolution to adopt these fees.
Okay.
So that puts you February, March.
Good.
And then administratively, they're gonna finally execute all the contracts with First State, because we didn't do that since you guys couldn't really charge those fees until we fixed
Right.
this. So then they can execute the contracts with First State.
Okay. You good? Okay. Great. All right, now, our agenda. Oh, sorry. Okay. Let's go to public comment. Anyone? I don't think there's anyone ready to speak, right? Okay, announcements from mayor and council. Mr. Lee, do you have any announcement?
Since we've got all this time. I don't know, I guess the hot thing is that, the letter that has come forward from the parents for the special meeting with the council, I think that's a joint, question. I look forward to coming out of it, developing an atmosphere and kind of camaraderie that is a sense taking place here today, but I look forward to that and hope that, we can, come to better communication. I think there's, it's all about communication, respect for one another. I tried this from the beginning, from day one. I said, hey, folks, let's go to the table together so we can sit down, because, personality is a personality. And we kind of couldn't get there, but we worked on it, man. We tried. So we're getting there. I'm getting there, mentally, physically, mentally, not physically, mentally. And I just think that we can do a great job. It's just a great opportunity. I think we just gotta break down the stuff. Let's be real. The boy said, keep it real. Let's Just get beyond the stuff and let's take care of business. That's just that simple. People do what they gotta do to get there. And, you know, it's climbing a mountain. You climb it where you wanna climb it, I'm climbing where I wanna climb. But let's get there, have to stop, have the discussion at the peak and let's come on down and get some more. How about that?
That's good. Councilperson Walsh,
I'm set.
I don't have
you
anything.
good?
Yep.
Okay. Councilperson Fletcher,
I'm good.
good? Okay. Well, I'm glad to, hear all the comments and it sounds like, there are new things coming, our way. I did hear, I just wanted everybody to know that I went to a meeting with, AGH and Tidal Health. And you work for Tidal Health, so. We're getting a new, PA, that's going to be for Snow Hill. And she, is going to be housed first at the health department. And then they're trying to find offices for her. But as you know, AGH and Tidal Health are merging together. And, they're looking at, not only, supplying doctors to the northern end, but they want to come and move more in the southern end also and impoverished areas. So I thought that was exciting news, exciting for me to have, that come to our town. So
So this is addition to what?
at Tidal Health where Allison Kidney is,
Yeah.
this is another person coming and possibly in 60 days.
Oh, that's cool.
Is this full time?
Yes. And dynamic personality, family, I think from Newark, but she's been in Tennessee or some other state right now, but she's excited about coming back to Snow Hill, her hometown area. And she's, from what I hear, great things at Dynamic and wants to help us out. So we're happy with that. Okay. Okay, we're good. All right, do I have, do
Mayor,
you want,
we meant to mention special meeting.
Yeah, we're, gonna be making a slight change with the order, not the order, but the agenda tonight.
yes,
Our Purnell Street bond ordinance is critically important that be introduced and sent through the process on schedule in order for us to qualify for the state funding that's paying for the project. It's just about complete. We're not going to be able to discuss that tonight. We were hoping if we could have a special meeting, a short special meeting on Thursday, probably about the same time or whatever suits all of you. But if we could come together for a few minutes on Thursday for a special meeting, we would go ahead and introduce that ordinance for our first reader so that we could keep it on track for a second reader at February the 11th. And we're also not going to be able to have the mayor nominate Dr. Turnbull for the planning commission tonight, but we would like to do that at the same time so that he could then, if assuming he's affirmed, take part in the February planning commission meeting, which will of course take place before the February council meeting.
Sure, you're talking about this Thursday?
Talking about the day after tomorrow.
We're supposed to go to that thing on, aren't
next
That's
Tuesday.
That's Tuesday.
That's
a week from
Tuesday.
tonight. This Thursday.
January 16th.
we? Isn't that event's on the 16th, right?
Oh, no, it's next Tuesday. It's the 21st in Kent Island.
What is this one about? The Lower Eastern Shore Association?
Oh, that's Lesma, isn't it?
That's
Yeah,
less,
Yeah,
that's,
but they don't start until 6:30.
7 o'clock?
7 o'clock.
I have the,
Yeah, I was thinking if we met at 5, we could probably knock this out in 15 minutes. But it would keep us on track to get it passed in time to qualify for the funding.
is this closing down that project so to start the comprehensive plan money roll?
No, this has to do with the bond for the Purnell Street funding.
So that would be the only thing on the agenda?
That, and the mayor was hoping to go ahead with Dr. Turnbull's appointment to the planning commission, replacing Chase Phillips, who was on, so that he could then take part in the February 10th. Planning commission, no, it wouldn't be the 10th, it would be the 3rd, I think. Planning commission meeting.
Didn't we have other ordinances?
We do, but they can wait until February 11th.
Unless
Is there any-
in particular that you wanted to?
Well, only that if we have, it seems to pile up. Could we put any more on Thursday that we were gonna do tonight?
Mine says they should be on the 11th.
Okay. It just, then it's easy to get lost sometimes
Yes.
when there's like we're carrying over all the stuff from tonight, plus all the new stuff that's gonna happen in a month. And it's a long meeting. And it makes for a very long meeting.
Well, we'll try to keep the new business down for February.
Well, that's not exactly.
Correct,
you got it.
Back here, and then go back to Salisbury and come back in.
It's for Purnell Street. The problem is, if we put it off any longer, we'll lose our place in the sequence of dates that allows us to take it forward.
If Purnell Street's on a very tight timeline. And they want us to settle, in July, we don't really have any wiggle room. And I know I'm just being direct because I know it's an important project to the town.
I apologize for the inconvenience. We were trying to make the best of it.
Good. Good.
So are we good for
Good.
5 o'clock on Thursday?
Five
Does that work
o'clock.
for everyone?
5 o'clock.
And really, it should not take long.
It's Friday, that's the 13th,
That's
am I right?
16th.
No,
The
no, I'm in
15th.
February, I'm in February.
Thursday is the
16th.
16th. Yeah.
60 on my days.
Will we be saying something to the public? I think there's a number of people coming because of all the ordinances that are on that were in the original packet.
Not to speak for the mayor, but I think at the beginning of the meeting, when we get to the first item that's gonna be moved, she's gonna share that items are being moved to different dates.
Of course, we'll still have the public comment portion of the agenda available for anyone who would like to speak.
So they could say their comments about the different ordinances
Yeah.
or any tonight.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And that's gonna be pronounced.
Any other questions? Councilperson Fletcher, are you good with that date?
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you for that, all of you.
Do I have a motion to adjourn work session?
Motion to adjourn?
Is there a second?
A second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Don't worry, just talking to myself.
And it's probably gonna get worse. That's the weekend.
Can people hear us okay?
Yeah, are we okay with the mic?